Candace Owens has erupted the internet with her insane claims about Erica Kirk. Has she finally lost the plot, or is she actually a genius exposing a deep dark web of manipulation? Love is Blind is also disrupting the atmosphere with controversy over the treatment of successful women, while a new toxic term called Alpine Divorce is making waves and blindsiding us ladies. And finally, the female gold medalists of the Olympics are standing up and clapping back. I'm Lisa Billiou. Let's get into it.
Oh, we got a packed slate today.
Christina in the house. What up, Christina?
What's up? So we're going to start off, and we can thank your editor for this, which was such a good lead. Candace Owens has been really going hard on Erica Kirk for a while. I had no idea she released like a whole big ass documentary basically about it. We've got the trailer.
All right. So for context, we're going to play you guys a trailer and then we're going to talk about it. So let's hit it.
Yeah.
Died after he was shot from a nearby building.
After being shot at Utah Valley University.
The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye.
That young man, I forgive him.
Take your time.
Erica Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turning Point USA.
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird to say excited.
Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century. Merch, hats.
We have 50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
Everyone grieves differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that.
Zionists, the Prime Minister of Israel, all
and this is where
lied
Candace
through their
turns.
teeth about
It's a
Charlie Kirk.
right
Her operation was in Constanta, the epicenter of Romania's trafficking scandal.
Weird conversations to have with a 15-year-old. I'm gonna touch your butt.
$8.6 million to their own shell company. What is going on?
We have nothing to hide. My aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
Boom. All right.
Well, that took a turn. You're like, okay, I'm on board. But some of the stuff at the end, you're like, where is she going with this? What claims are happening?
Yeah, and the reason why we wanted to talk about this is really because we always want to make sure that topics are relevant to the community.
Right.
And this one is one of those things where I didn't see this coming. Like, I knew she was really good friends with Charlie and stuff like that. But then to go after his wife was such a left field for me. I don't know about everyone at home, but it was for me. And this is one of those, is she gunning for someone because she needs to point the finger, or does she actually have a point? She's about to reveal something. Now, when it's woman on woman, I think the media is going to probably run with this, right? Like the bitches attacking
a cat fight sitch. Yeah.
But if there's actually truth to this, and this is one of these moments, it just got released, guys, so we're going to be talking about this over the next few weeks. We'll be bringing clips of the things that we see and discover. But I really live in a world where I want people to speak freely because there might be some truth. So whether you like Candace or freaking hate her, you can't deny she does deep work. So I'm super curious to watch this and have an idea of whether this actually was a master manipulation.
Well, I mean, she makes some pretty big claims. In the next clip that we're going to show, she basically is laying out a really heavy accusation against Erica Kirk.
Yeah,
so
let's hear the accusation.
Watching episode 1 of Bride of Charlie, and we need to talk about this tweet that Candace is reading. Elizabeth Lane had tweeted this, basically explaining how Erica Kirk may be a psychopath. And honestly, based on what she says, it really makes so much sense. I'll play you the clip where Candace is reading it. It's kind of long, but worth the listen.
But because of how calculated and performative her ambition appears to be, I believe she may be a psychopath. What stands out immediately is the reaction that she provokes in other people. People turn off interviews because the presentation feels artificial to the point of being unbearable.
And then Candace says that this is a great place to start because she thinks that she could prove a lot of what Elizabeth Lane said. Like how Erica Kirk allegedly adapts her personality to suit the people that she meets, the lies that she has told. Candace also said that she has spoken with ex-boyfriends, friends from the past, in order to get some information on Erica. Okay, I'm going to go back to watching, but I feel...
So, I mean, that's a heavy thing to just like call somebody a psychopath, but she sounds like she's actually like trying to line up like, she does this, therefore I think she's a psychopath.
Yeah, like I think she even, again, we haven't watched it yet, and I really want to take a deep dive, but she talks about Dr. Hare's psychopathy checklist. And so Dr. Hare, he's, I think like in his 80s now, but he basically was the first person to have a checklist of what psychopath traits look like. And there's 20 of them. And I've done many interviews on this, and you can go back and look into my catalog about the psychopathic checklist. But that became very interesting because I've always seen it from the guy's perspective, right? What does a man psychopath look like?
Yeah.
There's more danger, or at least more danger for me in the immediateness. But this is super interesting. So a couple of little things. The wiping of the eye when there's no actual tears is absolutely a sign of a psychopath. That is just like one massive red flag. And psychopaths don't have empathy. They literally don't care what happens to you. And the reason why the wiping of the tear and their actions sometimes seem off is because they don't have empathy. They don't know how to emote. And so what they do is they literally look at somebody, go, interesting. When she's crying, she wipes her eyes. I guess when I want sympathy and I want people to think that I'm crying, I guess I should wipe my eyes. The difference is there's no tears.
Right. No, and she mentions too, and that thing that like turning off interviews because it feels so artificial. I definitely have felt that. Like when I see Erica Kirk speaking or something like that, I'm like, it just feels off. Something doesn't feel genuine.
Yeah. So I've actually got a couple of experts coming in. So I was going to grab some of this footage and do a body language breakdown on Erica Kirk to see if Candace has some credibility or not. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to be talking about this topic again because when it comes to females, especially when it's women on women, like this is one of these, like I don't want people to dismiss Candace because there could be some truth. So stay tuned. We'll dive deeper into that.
Well, going on to the next thing, this blew up this week. The newest season of Love is Blind is taking place in Ohio, and we have a really unique situation. So Love is Blind and some reality shows are a little bit of my guilty pleasure, so I'm very excited.
That and the Real Housewives.
There you go. But this season, Chris Fusco and Jessica Barrett initially emerged as a fan favorite couple. So we have a clip just showing them right out of the pods.
And just in case people do not know the show, I've only seen one season, but just to kind of give people an idea, they live in these pods, they don't get to see each other, but they have these dates. So they get to know each other through verbal communication. And so when they end up thinking, oh, I've got chemistry with this person, they then meet them. So this is them coming out of their pods, meeting for the first time.
That's right.
I'm so happy. Oh, God, I love you. Oh, my God. I could have never found you. Never. Wow. You're literally stunning. Stunning. Literally. Like,
they just give, like, really genuine...
All right. They seem very genuinely into each other.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they just came out of a really intense, like, attachment exercise, pretty much. Like, getting those long, drawn-out talks with somebody and going deep. But then we go from that, we go to Cabo, and then they get to see each other's houses, meet each other's families. So we did pull a clip because I feel like this is where things start to turn a little bit. The house tour. They tore Chris's place first, and then they tore Jessica's place after that. So,
I know.
I can't wait to see your place too.
I know. I'm so excited.
Obviously, this isn't a 4-bedroom place.
So he's in he's in an 870 square foot apartment, and he goes to her house, and
it's massive.
It's giant.
It is the 4-bedroom house.
Yeah. So he has like credit card debt of $60,000.
Logistically, it would make more sense for me to
successful living.
I mean, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we can. This to me is when I think that things changed because they were so like lovey-dovey, and I really do feel a lot of things went
Like, for
into
me?
what happens next. I think the number one thing is insecurity, but you're kind of the expert here and you've talked to so many experts, is like, what do you think like triggered this? So yeah, they're basically talking after they get back from Cabo. He hasn't talked to her for 2 days. She's been texting him, trying to figure out like, basically, where are you? Are you even coming to film today? And then he drops this on her.
Okay, so he drops this.
Like,
so
for
remember,
me?
pause it for a second. Hold in the air. They're looking in their eyes. He's just so pretty. They're hanging at his house. Romance, romance, love, love in the air, and play.
Like, just to be totally honest, and like without sounding like a fucking dickhead, I don't know how to say it. Like, in the normal world, like, I date people who like fucking do like fucking CrossFit and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm trying to like, I don't know, somebody who like works out all the time and like has like a different type of, I don't know.
A different type of like body?
It's just like somebody who does fucking like Pilates every day, or like someone who's like working out every day. In those situations, it's hard for me to be like physically, like when we're in that moment, like into it. I just don't know if it's like there for me.
All right. Oh, dude, this breaks my heart.
Wow.
So the rumors out there already before we even
Like,
kind of
for
like
me?
grabbed this topic was that he basically was intimidated by her career and her money.
Right.
And I think that this triggers a lot of us women.
Yeah.
Because we worked so hard for the rights to be able to work, to go out and have our own lives, to not need a man to buy a house, not need a man to open a bank account. Like all of this just pretty much happened in like the 50s. And so we fought for that over and over. And then you go out and you're proud and you work hard, but you still want a romantic relationship. And you got this beep hole who is freaking like now judging her and doesn't want to be with her. And the excuse he uses is you don't do Pilates. Like that, honestly, I think was completely fake. I obviously don't think that that was the reason. If you notice, I've just done a lot of episodes with CIA spies and body language experts. Like he stumbles a lot. He doesn't know what to say. He has no idea how to articulate he no longer wants to be with her because he's intimidated. And so, number one, I don't want women to watch this and go, oh, damn, I shouldn't spread my wings. I shouldn't be too loud. I shouldn't be too successful. I shouldn't be too fill in the gap. Like that isn't the right answer.
For sure.
The answer is, to be honest, the answer is find somebody that actually is proud of it, that actually gets turned on by it. So in all honesty, if you actually look back, I'm so glad he showed his true colors before they went too far.
Right.
Like that must be heartbreaking for her because that happened on camera. Imagine.
I can't in front of the whole world. And what she has even since said, what was so jarring for her was the complete switch. Like it just came out of the blue, out of nowhere. She thinks that they have this incredible connection coming out of the pods. And then he disappears for 2 days, can't get a hold of him, and then he comes back with this. And that's got to be, I know it is a common thing for us females to be like, oh, I found this connection. We're in really deep. And then all of a sudden the switch flips and it's really difficult to identify. And I think a lot of the conversation right now is what flipped that switch? You know, was it her big house? Was it he just wasn't ready? And, you know, how do you find what that switch is sometimes?
Yeah. Now, a lot of us are going to be triggered over something. So him getting triggered is like maybe that's his own background, things that he experienced as a child. But just to be totally upfront is that if you're looking for a mature, healthy man, the right response, if they get triggered, right, because maybe he hasn't closed that wound, is, oh my God, this house actually makes me feel badly about myself. Like nothing against you, but wow, right? That's an emotionally mature man that can actually acknowledge the trigger and use the conversation. But I'm going to be honest, that freaking asshole took her down by insulting her body.
Yeah.
Like that was where that drew the line for me into disgusting mode.
Yep.
Be a man, freaking grow up, give grace to that woman and either own your own crap or just walk away. But don't go on camera and say, I like women who do Pilates.
Right.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, agreed. You ready to be disgusted even more?
God. Let's go if we have to.
I had to explain this trend to you. For our listeners, if you haven't heard, this is the latest trend in dating. It's called Alpine Divorce, and we're going to let this influencer, Adikora, explain what that is.
Yes,
if you haven't heard of it.
This is a new term. Literally,
Yes.
I heard like yesterday or the day
Yes.
before. So a new term that's sweeping the nation that is very possibly damaging us women. So here, play the clip.
Yesterday, I posted a video talking about another way that men murder women, which is taking them hiking, purposely leaving them out there, and then hoping that they succumb to nature or their injuries if they have them. It's called an Alpine Divorce. I have hundreds of comments, lots of good communication, people telling stories, people sharing information, healthy conversation is happening. And then I have men in my comments, and I figured, let's all sit down and read some of those comments.
Actually, pause there.
on
I
a
don't think
video
this
where
describes what Alpine Divorce is.
Right. Yeah. Basically, it's when a man takes a woman that he's dating, married to, that kind of thing. They go on a hike and he abandons, like runs off, abandons her there. Like oftentimes they'll drive together so that, if he gets it back to the car in time and leaves, like you're abandoning somebody on a hike, either in the desert, on a mountain. It's terrifying. And what I was telling you earlier was I don't even like the name. The term Alpine Divorce just feels very cheeky when it could be a very terrifying thing if you're on a hike with somebody. And this came on my radar because our next clip, this actually happened to this girl. It has millions of likes on it. And I was reading through the comments and realizing like there were so many people who said, this just happened to me. This just happened to me. And so, yeah.
All right, let's play that clip. And then, Eric, what we'll do is go back to the other clip and hear how men are responding to this thing.
Yeah.
Just pause there. All right. Play the clip. This poor woman. Oh my God, this poor woman with 3.1 million likes. I can't really read it, but it says POV, you go to the mountains with...
Yeah, and you realize he never liked you to begin with because he abandons her in the mountains. He leaves you alone by yourself. So he takes her to this hike in the mountains.
He leaves you alone by yourself and realizes that he never liked you in the first place.
Yeah, yeah.
So literally, this poor woman goes on a hike with her boyfriend, and this is the way people are breaking up with women these days.
Right.
But you leave him in a freaking, mountain alone?
Like, you can, honestly, you could succumb to the elements. You could hurt yourself. It's so irresponsible. But yeah, going back to the last clip, people think it's funny or just think it's a joke situation. But there are people who are like, this really traumatized me. There's support groups for it.
Right. Yeah. Crazy. Let's hear how people are responding. Play this clip, Eric.
I am discussing men murdering women. I can't wait till I can do this.
There's actually a comment from someone.
Survival of the fittest.
Dude.
Do you want the damn bear or not? I'm going to Alpine divorce you. What was that thing about choosing bears over? Never mind.
Okay, pause there. So in case people don't know the bear thing, there was this whole question assessment, I guess, that they asked all these women and men. If you were stuck in the woods, who would you rather confront, a bear or a man?
Right.
And men unanimously said men. Women unanimously said bear. And I had a discussion actually with my husband, Tom, and he's like, what do you mean you'd rather a bear? And I'm like, babe, at least a bear's going to freaking eat me and I die. A man can rape you. He can do the most horrendous shit. He can capture you. We've just heard so many horror stories about that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's why she's saying, oh, you want the bear? It's so patronizing and disgraceful and demeaning to women. I honestly don't understand how a man can say that. Now, look, I understand that I'm surrounded by great men. We have great men in this company. My husband's an incredible human. Your husband's an amazing man. So to think about there are people out there that will respond like this, where they don't give a shit. It's like, what kind of world do we live in where you literally don't give a shit that a woman's been abandoned and could potentially die? What? What?
Don't understand how that's easier than sending a breakup text. Like, you know what I mean?
Fair, yeah.
Like,
that's actually
like, why go through all of this? It feels almost sadistic a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you actually want her to be scared. You want her to suffer in some way. And I don't understand that feeling.
Especially that it's become this common. Now, the story that we just told is the light story. That's the story of the one woman that got abandoned and cried.
Yeah.
Let's play the extent of how bad this can get. And the reason why we're going to bring this up isn't to make people feel bad, but it's to warn women. Like, that's why we're doing these lives, so that we can start to bring up topics that we may not know. So this is how extreme it can possibly get. So play the clip.
Who left his girlfriend to die on the top of a mountain has been found guilty. And this wasn't the first time he left a girlfriend on that same mountain. In January 2025, Thomas Planberger, who was described as an expert climber, started making plans with his girlfriend to climb up Austria's tallest mountain. His girlfriend, Kirsten Gertner, had some experience, but nothing of this magnitude. Things weren't looking good from the very beginning. They started 2 hours late. There were 45-mile-per-hour winds. It was -4 degrees. And then also the high altitude on top of that. Prosecutors argued that any expert would have turned around. They would have ended the trip, but they continued on. They get to the point of no return. They still don't turn back at that point. And then he claims that when she started to become sick, that it was a complete shock to him. Now, mind you, he did not pack the proper emergency tools that he needed to. And on top of that, she wasn't even wearing appropriate boots for this type of hike, which an expert should have known. He calls for help at 12:30 a.m. and according to prosecutors, after that, he turned his phone on silent and didn't answer any further call from rescuers. At 2 a.m., they're 130 feet from the top of the mountain, and that is when Thomas leaves her behind. Prosecutors say he didn't leave her with a...
Pause there. He leaves her behind.
At 2 in the morning.
What kind of freaking man does that shit? Dude, that's rough. So in hearing this story, the thing that we want to talk about just very quickly is how do we protect women in these scenarios, right? Because it's like it could happen to a lot of us women. Like you think that you're in this great relationship and you go out on a hike. You shouldn't be worried about going out on a hike, but then something like this happens. Now, A, awareness is everything, right? It's just knowing that this is out there. And then B, actually, let's pull up the strategy sheet that I put together. All right, so I use ChatGPT. This is literally me like making commands. So, okay, so understand the strategy of what happens is going to be massive. So number one is basically the distraction. So they use the intense hike to keep you exhausted, distracted, and pushing through so you don't sense something is actually wrong until you actually reach the summit. So remember that one. Then they isolate you for miles from civilization so you can't easily react, walk away, or process freely. Because you're miles from civilization, dependent on them. So now imagine like you're up in the mountains, you're depending on them, they've got a car. What are you going to do? You're not going to walk off. That's part of the strategy that they use and why it's so freaking powerful.
Yeah. No, we've got so many comments coming in.
Where
people are just like, this is horrific. That's like, if someone dies or is injured in a situation like this, they can be held legally responsible. Do they not realize this? And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the end of that story from the clip that we were watching is she did pass away.
She died.
She did pass away. That was the second woman he did that to. His first ex-girlfriend survived.
Oh, yeah.
She did not. He got 5 months suspended sentence.
Oh, my God. That's it?
That's it. 5 months suspended sentence.
Because what? They just said
no
it was like
jail.
negligent instead of actual murder?
Yeah.
Or premeditated?
Yeah, they just said it was like negligence. So... yeah, he didn't. That's so infuriating to me because as you can see from like the short piece of the clip that we watched, there were so many conscious decisions this guy made to not get this woman life-saving care.
Yes. And at what point someone actually put, isn't that second degree murder? It's like, yeah, right. That's really what he should be going down for. And to your point is that, look, we're not experts, but based on the timeline, there are things he could do. And let me freaking tell you, my husband's in the chat actually. So I'm just going to ask him, babe, would you ever leave me? Would you ever leave me on the top of a mountain?
Oh, I'd be furious. I would be terrified. First of all, it's -4. I'm already pissed off that I'm out there. Like, if I'm doing that kind of hike with you, I love you so much.
That's amazing.
You got me out here in -4. You're not leaving me. You're not leaving me.
No, dude. So this is the thing. How do we get trapped, right? If this is becoming such a thing, there's a common denominator. It's we're trusting, beautifully trusting, right? And people are abusing that. So what are we going to do about it? I don't want this Alpine divorce thing to exist in a year or 2 years or 3 years. In order for it not to exist, we have to do something. So this is, guys, where you can't impact the person. We wish we could control psychopaths, manipulators, narcissists. We wish we could. You can't. Stop wasting time. What we can do is start to learn the lessons. Is start to recognize the flags. So I've also done another little screen thing with my ChatGPT.
Yay!
Let's pull that up. This is the red flags. There we go. We're pulling up the red flags. All right. So, guys, please screenshot this. So if you're looking at this right now on your phone, just screenshot it. If you're looking at TV, take your phone out and take a picture. Because this is how we're actually going to change this.
Yeah.
Like, actually. So, red flag, no cell phone. If he picks a trail with no cell service, no one can call for help. So make sure wherever you go, you make sure that it's got cell service and it's not in the middle of freaking nowhere. Number 2, he walks 10 feet ahead. If he hikes far in front of you, he's already emotionally and mentally gone. So that's another key. Now look, these are all going to be patterns. My husband always walks ahead of me.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's a whole debate because he likes to walk behind me. I like to see him, so I always want him to walk in front of me. So in that scenario, if my husband's walking in front of me, of course, it's not a red flag. So base it on your relationship of the person that you know. And if you don't know them and they walk ahead, red freaking flag. Okay, next is the gear. He insists on driving together. Well, what happens is you're already locked in. So that's another thing. It's like, make sure that you've thought about it. Maybe offer to drive. If he pushes back, red freaking flag. Next one, no couple photos. If he actually won't take a photo at the summit, he doesn't want to document.
Oh, yeah.
So again, I'm not saying that these are all, like, each one is like, you better run. But if you start to see these things, these become the red flags. Now, again, the next thing I'll go to is, why do you trust someone? Trust needs to be earned and trust needs to be given.
Yeah.
And just like you wouldn't wear, even though we should live in a world where we can wear short skirts down a dark alley and not worry about getting raped, we live in the real world. And the real world says you can't wear a short skirt in a dark alley late at night. So I just go, okay, how do we live in the real world now? If this really is a thing, make sure you don't blindly trust someone. Make sure they've earned the trust over and over and over again, to the point where you've been in danger before and they've come to save you. That's when you know someone you can trust to be in the middle of nowhere where they literally can take your life and there's no proof.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just terrifying to me. So hopefully, and like I said, the terminology is what caught it for me. Is just like, it's not really funny or cheeky. This is really serious. And the fact that it's happening so often, I felt we had to bring it up.
Yeah, we should actually rebrand it. Throw in the comments if you got a good name that we're going to change the Alpine Divorce to. But like, one that comes to mind is asshole tactic or manipulative tactic. Like, let's actually re-freaking brand it, because to your point, Alpine Divorce is like, oh, that kind of sounds like a nice divorce, like an amicable divorce.
Right, exactly. Oh, it's a divorce on skis. Okay, so we are going to pepper in a little bit of Olympics.
All right.
But this situation I thought we had to bring to the group because there was a Norwegian biathlete who admitted to cheating on his girlfriends following a bronze medal win. And I'd like to see what the community thinks about this situation. So we'll go ahead and play the clip.
He literally has just won a medal. And play the clip.
Following his bronze medal finish in biathlon, Sturla Holm Lagerud made a tearful plea for forgiveness on live TV. 6 months ago, I met the love of my life, he said, but then admitted that 3 months into the relationship, he cheated on her. Tonight, the Norwegian biathlete got a response from his girlfriend. In a statement to a Norwegian paper, she wrote, "It's hard to forgive, even after a declaration of love in front of the whole world. Lagrad said his girlfriend ended their relationship before the games, but he hoped she would realize how much he loves her. Today, the unnamed woman thrown into an Olympic whirlwind wrote, "I did not choose to be put in this position, and it hurts to have to be caught up in it." The love life drama has gone viral with mixed reaction.
Okay. Before we get into that, I think our poll today should be, is this romantic? Proclaiming his love, crying for her after winning the medal, or is this manipulative?
Dude, that's such a great poll. So we're going to throw it in now, guys. We want you to answer. And as people are answering, let's talk through it.
Okay.
So we've seen multiple, not even seen, we've experienced and known at our age that men have been taught not to cry.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do, you're like, oh my God, he's being so sweet. Wow. This has captured my heart.
Yeah, it feels like the end of a romance movie, like a say anything moment, you know, that big grand gesture.
That's amazing.
I love you so much. He's just won the medal, you know, and it just feels it is almost like one of those rom-com moments.
Yeah.
But then...
So the thing that caught me is, you know, when people try to pressure you or put you in a position where you feel the pressure so much that you have to respond, that's a form of manipulation. So when you think about, there are, I'm sure, lots of women that are like, oh my God, I love this man. He's so cute and he's successful and he's crying and he's saying how much he loves his girlfriend and he made a mistake. Like, he's fooling some women. And so when I think about how they use certain tactics and he's done this in declaration in front of the world. Yeah. So I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing that's going to put pressure on her. So you know with the guy, he's not sure if the woman wants to marry him. So he proposes in front of the whole family so she can't say no.
Yes.
That's what this kind of feels like.
Yeah. Oh, no, I definitely agree. The other thing that triggered me was they've been together for 6 months. And he cheated on her 3 months in. So this wasn't like they've been together for 6 years and he had like a slip up or something like that. They just met 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I have condiments in my fridge that are older than that.
So true. My salt's older than that. So actually thinking about that, there was a clip that I saw recently. I don't actually keep up with the Kardashians, but I saw a recent clip of Khloe Kardashian with her ex, the one that, I don't know if they were even together, the one that she had the babies with, and
the NBA
yes,
Tristan?
Right, Tristan,
yes,
thank
yes,
you.
Yes.
So with Tristan, and I'm watching this video, and as they're talking, it's coming out like, oh, he's cheated on her multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
While she was pregnant. Didn't he get like the other woman pregnant as well?
Yes.
And she's sitting there going, but I still love you, and you're my man, and I believe that families should stick together. Girl, I wanted to freaking scream into the camera, into my phone, because I'm like, young girls are watching this.
Yeah.
They're freaking watching this, and you're telling them it's okay if a guy cheats on you. So what is this telling women? Right? As long as you make the grand declaration, to your point, we've all seen it in the movies with the beatbox above our head, say anything.
Right.
And it's just like, we all have been taught to dream of the day that the man makes that declaration.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we all grew up watching those rom-coms. So do we have the answer to the polls yet? We do have some comments. We got Red T Grilly 8165 says he put himself in yet another spotlight at her expense. He humiliated her in front of the entire world, admitting that he cheated on her so publicly.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that's true. God, that didn't even dawn on me. You're right.
Yeah. That's
like, not only did I say I love you, but I've just told the whole world that I cheated on you.
The whole world.
That didn't even dawn on me. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and would be like humiliating.
Oh my God, yes,
you're like, leave me out of this.
Like the other freaking guy on Love Is Blind that's telling her that she's she needs to do Pilates. It's like this public humiliation is heartbreaking, and I feel like that was, so I actually wrote down, there's like 3 elements to this master manipulation that he did. So it was public, right? That's definitely the public pressure.
Yeah.
The crying is the emotional manipulation.
Yep.
And then he does it at the top of his game, which makes you question, oh my God, maybe he's the one. Should I forgive him?
Right.
Because unfortunately, women do strive to go for the guys that are at the top of the ladder. So those types of things are definitely the thing that I think would negatively or impact her in such a big way. And here's the thing. Let me know when we have the poll, by the way.
Oh, we do.
Come on, let's hear it.
They couldn't get past our community because 98% said manipulation. They saw the signs.
Yes, it's the signs. Because here's the thing, guys. I have a rule in my relationship from the day that I met Tom. There's 2 non-negotiables. He can never lay a finger on me aggressively, and he can never cheat on me. If I find out he's cheated at 12:01, at 12:02, I've packed my bags, I'm out the door. He doesn't get a hold of me. My phone is switched off. He cannot reach me. I've just declared that. Now, that's my decision. I don't blame other women if they choose to take a man back because that's right for them. But here's the thing. What contributes to take a man back and him going to change? Because there's 2 things. You can either take him back and he's going to repeat it like Tristan did to Khloe Kardashian.
Right.
Or they're going to actively do things to show you they're truly sorry and they are going to repent and change their ways. Saying that publicly is literally the biggest red flag that I can possibly see, that he's never going to do the work that he needs to do to get past it. So if you actually are sorry, you don't do it publicly.
Right.
You say it to me. You tell me, I'm going to give you space to process this. I'm here for you. I'm going to go to therapy. Like, you can do a list of these are all the things that need to be true for me to take you back.
Absolutely. No, I'm with you. And the comments are going, at Brooke, Akasha, did he not think that through? I think it was manipulation because he put it through it again. And
total asshole move. Yes, thank
total
you,
asshole move. So, okay, moving on. We've got something that's also hot right now. It's near and dear to our hearts because we were watching this live when we were younger, but Ryan Murphy's got a brand new series. He's the one that does the Monster series.
So good. Such a great...
doing an anthology, I guess, a new anthology called Love Story. And his first one out of the bat is JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, which of course is like American royalty. But there's a lot of conversation online as to whether or not this actually is a love story. So we've got a clip.
To break it to you, but this is not a love story. This is a story about intense chemistry with no fundamental compatibility and a relationship that was never meant to last. They were not even married 3 years when they had their untimely demise. And by then, I mean, the marriage, based on all the reports, people who knew them, was basically done. So they could barely even make it 3 years. They were at each other's throats, literally. They obviously had natural chemistry, but part of what made their chemistry so electric, and we're basing this on the show, assuming that that's accurate to some degree, is all the freaking games that these two were playing. First of all, he was in a relationship by the time he met her. He completely led her on, and then he ghosted her and ended up getting back together with Daryl Hannah, his on and off girlfriend of the time, and she finds out by like seeing it splashed over the newspaper.
Oh yeah, for
okay,
a
so
long
we're not
time.
off to the best start
They
here.
were
But
together for a
Carolyn, she had game unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, she had it down to an art form. You know, the book The Rules came out in 1995, so maybe that was...
The Rules. Wow, I haven't heard that in a while. That came up a lot in a lot of different clips that I was seeing. A lot of people were like, The Rules just came out, and she played him. The Rules was a big book that came out in the 90s here in the States, where it was just like dating rules for women. It's like, don't call him for three days. Like
the Cosmopolitan top 10 things to do.
Exactly. Yes. And it was just like basically be unavailable. And so a lot of people like are talking a lot of mad stuff about Carolyn Bessette, but they were saying like she played him like a fiddle because she acted like she didn't want anything to do with him. And of course, it's JFK Jr. in the 90s. Every woman wanted everything to do with him. So that's how she got him.
Got it. Okay. So the the series is coming out. And he's saying this is a beautiful love story. But everyone's jumping on it saying, actually, it's not a love story. And let me tell you why. Now, there are other things. Unfortunately, we live in a world, I'm not sure how or why, but we live in a world where people want to jump on the woman and not the guy.
Yeah, there's a lot that are talking about her alleged affairs, her alleged drug use. There's not so much coming out about his alleged drug use or his alleged affairs. It's very, very one-sided. I think part of it is A, the woman being the woman in the situation, and B, she was also incredibly private. So there's not a lot of information out there. Like, there's no interviews she did where you can go and say, oh, like this exonerates her. Because she left a blank canvas, it allows other people then to paint on it.
Yeah. This is heartbreaking to me because it's like, I hate to say it, but they passed away. Like, leave them in peace, you know? And as I'm talking about them on my show, but no, seriously, it's like, why do people jump on the women? That's unfair. I think that we should treat this equally if we're going to say, was this really a love story or not? And then two, unfortunately, it's, you know, different day, same play. It's like this happened over and over and over, where if you have a man who people just admire and respect and love, you're always going to blame the woman. I mean, just look at the Epstein files, for heaven's sake. The names that are coming out and people are like giving, trying to give them like excuses or like, no, they didn't do it. Because when you admire someone, when you really believe that you think you know somebody, you go to bat for them. And so a lot of people, I think, are going to bat for these celebrities who actually don't deserve going to bat to. Now, again, I don't know JFK Jr., but the fact that we're jumping on the woman is just like, God, what? Why? Like, leave them alone. Let's just call it a love story. Maybe it wasn't, but they're not going to impact anyone negatively by ripping them to pieces, especially her. Like, the poor woman, to your point, she was private. Now, wouldn't we want that type of privacy if we didn't want to be exposed to the world?
Yeah, I feel like I read somewhere that it was a major factor in her even considering being with him is knowing herself as well as she did and knowing how private she would not have to have a private life if she ended up with him. So,
and if you watch the docuseries, have you seen the documentary?
No.
It's on Hulu. Came out like maybe 3 months ago or something.
Write it in the comments if you know what the documentary is,
yes,
because I want to watch it.
I watched it and it was really good. Now, the way that they painted it was more just like, here's the timeline and here's what happened. And with Caroline, she joined George. So he starts the magazine, George. She joins him because he basically asked her, you're very successful in this other stuff. I want you in my company. That's a massive compliment, right? When you're really good at your job and they say, hey, I want you to join. But then once she joined, people just wanted to slate her and bring her down, saying she was bossy, she was demanding. Maybe she fucking had a vision. Yeah. Maybe she had a vision and she knew that this is what I'm being hired for. So yes, I'm going to come in here and execute on that vision that you've hired me for. But the fact that whenever a woman has a voice, all of a sudden they're dominant, they're bitchy. It's like, I'm Tom's business partner. I have a say in how the business runs.
That's right.
And damn right, I deserve it. And so when people are just slating her for coming into George and demanding, it's like, George was freaking amazing. If you look at how detailed they were on the photography and the marketing, that was her. That was her.
Yeah, no, I mean, she was huge at Calvin Klein. I think she discovered...
Calvin Klein, thank you, well done.
She discovered Kate Moss, I thought.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, she was very, very successful. She's still a style icon. That's another thing. That is the flip side of something like this coming out, is that people are recognizing her talent, her gift for fashion and that kind of thing, and so it's being talked about again. So
yeah, like, I just think, like, look, if you were Carolyn Bessette, wouldn't you want to A, be left in peace when you're dead, and then B, don't you want people to just think the nice things? Like, if you haven't actually damaged someone's life and you're not like toxic and manipulative in like a I'm ruining your life standpoint, like, just leave the woman's reputation.
Yeah. What do you think? Are you going to watch the Ryan Murphy?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Oh,
1,000%.
Me too. Okay, moving on to really not a laughing matter at all, but women's healthcare in this country. Both you and I feel very, very strongly about getting the word out there, because I don't feel it's political. It's very much an every woman's issue, is our healthcare. And your sister actually brought us this clip, so thank you to her, about there's a governor's candidate that has some pretty strong words to say about women's healthcare.
And healthcare meaning abortion rights.
Yep.
All right.
Representative Monty Fritz. He is also running to be governor of Tennessee, and he would like to see women who have abortions executed.
Yes, you heard that right.
We are talking about a gubernatorial candidate openly calling for women who end their pregnancies to be charged with a capital crime and spend their life in prison, or for them to get the death penalty. That is where we're at right now.
Insane.
I first found out about this through Tennessee Repro News, which is a great outlet that you should follow if you don't already. They uncovered video of Fritz saying, if you kill a baby from embryo on up with a pill or a scalpel, we ought to execute you.
With a pill?
Then a few weeks ago, another reporter from another outlet asked Fritz about these comments.
Birth control, the morning after pill?
It sounds like you were not just talking about providers, which would be bad enough, by the way. It sounds like you were not just talking about providers, but patients. Would you like to elaborate on that? Fritz essentially doubled down and said, murder is murder, them's the breaks, right? Like, is the short version. And I really can't stress enough that this is not just about this one guy. This is not just about one legislator, one extremist, one candidate. This is about the future of the anti-abortion movement and the Republican Party and the way that they are embracing extremism at a rate.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that, like, an abortion isn't sometimes, it's just like, you don't know if you're having complications, you may have an abortion and not know, you know what I mean? Like, it's people bleeding out in cars right now, so.
Can I just stop you there though, homie? They, like, literally, whether you have an abortion or not, forget, like, you've accidentally or anything like that, you have an abortion. They want to crucify you. Like, literally, they want to put you on the death penalty.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not even, like, I hate, and I really hope the comments, guys, you're not making this about Republican Democrats. Like, this is just a women's rights issue. And in all honesty, we need to freaking stand up and say, where is this coming from? If this guy's in Congress, freaking throw him out. What lunacy is this that you can live in a freaking world in the United States of freaking America and you can say that I should be put to death for having an abortion, even from a pill?
Yeah.
Like, they're not saying you had an abortion when the baby was like 8.5 months old.
No, it's just like you went and got a morning after pill from CVS.
Yeah. This infuriated me so freaking much that it even got to the point where he could even say it. You know what I mean? It's like, how is that the world that we live in, especially in the United States of America? Now, as we were talking about this, my social media manager here, Zazu, who freaking I love, she is actually from Argentina. And she was telling us of the story. So I'm just going to read it because this was even more horrifying. So guys, like, again, I don't do this to horrify. Almost it's acknowledgement that this is happening. And then what are we going to do about it? So in March 2014, Beline, I think I'm saying the name right, Beline sought medical attention at a public hospital for severe abdominal pain and was diagnosed with a miscarriage at 22 weeks old. Okay. So she's got abdominal pain. She goes to the hospital. She miscarries, and the baby's 22 weeks old.
Yeah.
The hospital staff accused her of inducing an abortion and reported her. That resulted in them arresting her and giving her 8 years in prison.
Oh my goodness.
So let me just recap. The woman has a miscarriage and they put her in prison for 8 years. Now, there was so much outrage in Argentina that thankfully after 2 years, she was actually released.
It's still 2 years.
Yes. So that's for someone who had a miscarriage. And so now, again, like there may be vitriol in the comments right now because people are going to make it political.
Right.
But like, honestly, this just freaking breaks my heart. I just think we need to stop the discussion of how you can even contemplate trying to murder a woman because she chose, like, what? In fact, let's lay a horrendous scenario. A young girl, she's 15. She gets raped by her dad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to make it harsh on purpose. And she goes to and they're like, you can't have an abortion. And she secretly does. So they, and maybe 15 because she's younger, but like, and then they put her in prison. Are you fucking joking?
Yeah. No. For me, it's a vital part of healthcare. It's my bodily autonomy. If you don't like abortion, like, don't have one. It's your right to have an opinion and not like it, but it's also any woman's right to have autonomy over their body. And I think this is going to lead to a lot more situations like some of the tragic cases that we've seen across this country of women already being denied care or, so pay attention to it. vote in your local elections. That's all I could say.
Yeah, I think paying attention and then just knowing that this happens.
Yeah.
So it doesn't creep up on us. And before we know it, we women don't have any power because we didn't realize it was happening.
Yeah, yeah. Now, another thing, we're going back to the Olympics now. Big Olympics for us and for actually women. Women won more medals.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of exactly.
Good time, Eric. Good time.
Yes, 8 out of 12 medals won by the U.S. were won by women. We had gold from the U.S. men's hockey team and gold by the U.S. women's hockey team, which I don't think has ever happened in history. It was a huge cause for celebration. And then this call from the men's hockey team locker room got leaked.
So Trump calls them.
Yep.
And this video gets leaked.
That's right.
We're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. We're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night. It's the biggest.
We're in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. Is that he was basically was saying, like, made a kind of lame old man sexist joke, like, oh, I guess we're gonna have to invite the women too. And then the men laughed, and there's a lot of people really upset online, feeling like the women were disrespected because they're just as decorated as the men. But then there's also a lot of discourse online for people being like, it was locker room talk from the men. They also just won, and the president called, like, what were they supposed to do in that situation? So I don't know.
Can we do another poll?
We can do.
Yeah,
it's your show. We can do whatever we want.
All right, let's do another poll. The question is, what should it be? It's not a problem. It's locker room talk, or what the hell? Men have got to stop it.
Yeah,
that
sounds
was a bit
good.
long, but let's do that poll. Okay, so while we do that poll, I'm really in two minds.
Okay.
Because I've done so much work about cults. That sounds weird, but I've done a lot of research about cults.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in a cult or a religion or something where everyone around you believes something and you turn around and you don't, you get ostracized.
Yeah.
And when you do human behavior in groups versus when they're by themselves, you are going to respond and act differently. Excuse me, my throat, perimenopause people. Excuse me. You are going to act differently when you're around other people versus when you're by yourself.
Right.
And when I think about this, they're speaking to the president. They're young kids. Like these guys, I mean, how old are they?
Like early
17?
20s.
Yeah, like early
maybe.
20s. So just put that in your head. Early 20s, they're on the phone to the president of the United States of America. And he's bigging them up.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, what are you really going to do? Like literally, like actually think, this young 18-year-old boy is going to go, hey, guys, hey, Mr. President, sorry, we shouldn't really talk like that's a high bar to hold for a young 20-year-old boy.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a like, do I wish they responded differently? Yes. Do I blame them? No. Now, the president of the freaking United States.
That's another story.
Yes. You're a model that these young boys will look at. If you're making fun of women, what are you teaching them?
Yeah.
And the fact, to your point that you had actually said earlier, the women won so many freaking medals.
Right.
He should have been on the phone to the women saying, well, I guess we've got to invite the boys.
Right. Yes, exactly. And we do have some really, really standout performances from women at these Olympics that we definitely want to highlight. I think our biggest one is Eileen Gu. It's a 22-year-old, most decorated female free skier of all time.
Oh, sorry, before we move on, do we have the poll results?
Oh, yes. Do we have poll results? Not yet.
All right, cool.
So we'll get it. But yes, for something like powerful, this, this is the response from the females. So this might help in our poll results. So let's see. This is their response to what happened.
This is the captain. Yes, this is the female captain's response after she saw the video that got leaked that made fun of her and her team.
That's right.
I just thought the joke was distasteful and unfortunate. And I think, just the way women are represented, it's a great teaching point to really shine light on how women should be championed for their amazing feats. And now I have to sort of sit, and anybody has to sit in front of you and explain someone else's behavior. It's not my responsibility.
Good for her. It's not my responsibility.
But what is shifting the focus and shifting the narrative of this amazing accomplishment that we all did together. And granted, the men's and the women's team did it together, and that is super special. It's never been done in our program's history. It's something we're extremely proud about.
We did it together.
But these women are amazing, and whatever is going on shouldn't never outshine or minimize their work and our success on the world stage. No, I just thought
love
that
woman.
I love it.
Her.
And I think I'm always astounded by people
Also,
that are
do you
able to
see-
like handle different reporters or have that poise and that just like awesome answer, like right there and ready to go. It just makes me very proud.
I know. And like, those are the moments where she could have clapped back bad, right? She could have insulted the president. She could have insulted the men. But the fact that she gave the grace, like, that's how I want to show up all the time. That when someone has done you dirt, you can still show that beautiful grace back. Like, that's damn maturity. And so that's what we should be showing women. Now, the sad thing is, it's the other freaking video that went viral. That video isn't going viral.
No, not at all.
Right? No, not at all.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually, poll results are in. It's it's pretty neck and neck. It's inappropriate is 57%.
Yeah.
And locker room talk is 43%. So it is pretty neck and neck. But what I love is her response pretty much is just like such poise and being like, I don't have to answer that. I'm really proud of the work that we did, So
speaking of poise.
Yes. This is Eileen Gu. This is our clip getting a really frustrating question from a male reporter that she had to deal with a lot of these over the course of the Olympics. But we just loved this response to him, so we had to share it.
Also, do you see these as 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost?
Pause for a second there. Just make sure people heard the question.
Yeah.
So she won 2 silvers.
That's right.
And they're basically saying, aren't you a little disappointed that you lost 2 gold? Like, talk about demolish and try and take her down and not like cheer her on with her awards. Like, that's 2 silver medals.
Yeah.
Who? Mr. Reporter, do you have those bloody medals? Anyway, sorry to stop the video, but that was just the context of the question in case you missed it.
Truly.
This is her. How old is she? Do you know?
22.
Dude, this woman, I wish I was this at 22. This is her response to that freaking comment of that reporter.
Decorated female free skier in history. I think that's an answer in and of itself. How do I say this? Winning a medal at the Olympics is a life-changing experience for every athlete. Doing it 5 times is exponentially harder because every medal is equally hard for me, but everybody else's expectations rise, right? And so the 2 medals lost situation, to be quite frank with you, I think is kind of a ridiculous perspective to take. I'm showcasing my best skiing. I'm doing things that quite literally have never been done before. And so I think that is more than good enough. But thank you.
Dude, that's such a good response. And she even says at the end, but thank you. I want to meet that woman. I want to meet her so much.
I know.
What a freaking beast.
What a badass. And what a great take to, honestly answer that question and just be like, how have I lost anything when I'm like the most decorated in my fields? Like, I don't even have to sweat that at all.
Yeah. Like, and she didn't do it aggressive.
No.
Again, like the other one, she didn't clap back. Like, that's what I'm so proud of the younger generation, the females. God, I sound really old now. Oh my God, I sound like my mum. But like, literally, the fact that these young girls have the freaking 22 to be like, yeah, that's a ridiculous question. Like, that's such a beautiful way. And she did it very politely. She wasn't bitchy. She didn't snap back. And because she didn't do that, I admire her way more.
Bringing it back then to our Love is Blind conversation, Jessica, the infectious doctor's infectious disease doctor, owns her own enormous house in Ohio. When that guy said that crazy stuff to her about her body, she was like, well, I don't want to convince you, got up and left. Like done and dusted. So she didn't feel like she had to get messy either, or very demure, very mindful, took herself out of there.
Mindful, I like that.
Very mindful. We don't need to stoop down and get in the mud sometimes. So we're going to end it on something positive.
As
you
always.
haven't seen this.
I haven't, deliberately.
But Netflix has a series called Famous Last Words. Eric Dane was just recently on it, tragically. But this one is going viral again. This is Dr. Jane Goodall, who's basically the world expert on chimpanzees. And these were the last words that she recorded.
Is she the lady they did the movie on with Gorillas in the Mist?
I thought it was. It's a different lady. There is a different movie about her.
Okay.
So,
so this is basically one of her last words.
That's correct.
Before she passed away. And I haven't seen it because I wanted to watch it with you guys in real time. So
this is a moment right now as people are watching this where maybe the biggest story in the world is that you've passed away. I think it'll be a global story. I think there'll be global mourning, and I think a lot of people will be talking about who you were. So who would you say you were?
I would say I was somebody sent to this world to try to give people hope in dark times, because without hope, we fall into apathy and do nothing. And in the dark times that we are living in now, if people don't have hope, we're doomed. And how can we bring little children into this dark world we've created and let them be surrounded by people who've given up? So even if this is the end of humanity as we know it, let's fight to the very end. Let's let the children know, that there is hope if they get together. And even if it becomes impossible for anybody, it's better to go on fighting to the end than just to give up and say, okay.
I love her. Fight to the end.
Yeah. And I just love that feeling that, we are bombarded in and out every day of like insane news stories and really difficult times. But that message of like, how can you bring little children into this world? If we've all given up, there is still hope. There is still beautiful things that are happening in the world, and there is still a reason to go on fighting. So
and that's why we show up every single day. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube Live. Honestly, if you guys like this, please, if you're not already subscribed, smash that subscribe button. It means so much to us here at YouTube. YouTube actually listens, they watch, they know algorithms, so please do smash that subscribe button. And if you do like these, please make sure that you come back next week at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. What do you guys Americans say? I've lived here for 25 years. I've got no excuse. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Christina, thank you, my homie. Until next time, be the hero of your own life. Peace.